WSUM 91.7 FM Madison. Toss the Mike Sportscast. We are back for the second half of the Sportscast here. And starting off here, we got the mailbag right here. And this is going to be a fun little segment here for us because it's really for Mr. Will because he was getting flamed a lot in that comment section. Let's start off with this part right here. Bash P223 says, love the picks, but disrespect to Bo Nix, better stop. He's that guy, and so many people just hate to see it. Will Overbo, I throw it to you. What do you say to Bash P223?
Well, I'm not going to bash P223 because they're commenting, and I appreciate all the comments, and I even challenged people to tell me that I was wrong in the last video, so I appreciate the comment. I don't remember bashing Bo Nix that hard, but looking back, I guess I was kind of
Maybe you did.
I was criticizing him a bit. But listen, I think that when you look at the Broncos, they are a very strong team all around. Their defense is the focal point of that entire team. I don't think anybody was looking at the Broncos' offense and being like, this is a stellar offense that can really compete with the best of the best. It seemed like they were kind of hanging on by a thread in a lot of these games, and their defense was bailing them out. So that's where I was coming from on that. Bo Nix is a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He needs to show levels of being great. And he had that run to the AFC Championship. You need to string together another year like that where it's a deep postseason run, and we'll have these conversations about Bo Nix being one of those guys in the AFC, but the AFC is so loaded with quarterbacks that I feel have reached higher highs than him. And I feel like that's fair to say, honestly. So I guess that's my response to that.
Yeah, and Savage SEV8773 has also added on to this. Bo Nix doesn't even throw picks with an IXS instead of CKS. So he's playing into the bit a little bit here.
Of course.
But at the same time,
of course.
I think he's got a point here. I mean, Bo Nix doesn't throw that many picks, right?
I guess. I mean, a lot. When you look, yes, if you look on paper, 11 interceptions. I mean, that's not great. You don't want to see interceptions in the double digits for any quarterback. A lot of these interceptions were there's a lot of dropped interceptions that obviously are not making it onto the stat sheet. I don't want to count that against him too much, but I'm saying this number could easily be up to 14. And you could say that for any quarterback, really, but he still has problems with throwing these super dicey throws, and they're not always completely on target. But he's going into his third year, and it is just kind of funny to call him Mo Picks. So I was just leaning into the bit.
I mean, that was the best ever. I can't believe we let it live this long. But yeah, I guess we could put that to bed at this point. It was pretty fun though. I can't lie. So moving on. Last part of this episode here. It is our last division prediction right here. The AFC East is the last one that we haven't done. We've done literally every other division. So before we even start, get your popcorn ready. Go sit on your couch, have something to eat, and watch every single division prediction video we got over on the WSUM YouTube channel. You can either find that in the larger podcast. We sometimes post all of it at once, and then sometimes we post our segments just to experiment with things. So yeah, go watch every single one of those, and when you're done, you can pause it right now. Okay, unpause it. Now let's do this one right here, the AFC East. And as always, I have a coin right here.
Oh yeah.
And
wait, is it Honest Abe or
let me see
FDR?
I believe this is a quarter.
Okay.
A newer quarter.
Okay.
So Mr. George Washington is going to be heads.
Big Wash. Let's go.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that yet, so that kind of threw me off. But on the back, oh man, this is not. I think this is the planet Earth. The planet Earth is tails.
Wow.
So with that being said, call it in the air. Whoever wins the toss gets to go first.
I'll do this for the world. I'll call planet Earth side tails.
Yeah, you got it.
Wow, I just keep winning these coin tosses. I swear, it's crazy. All right. Okay, I'll get my list up. All right. So this is a division that I feel like is not really competitive outside for maybe a couple teams.
What?
I mean, yeah, I know, crazy hot take. But I feel like I hate to say
What?
it, but I'm gonna put the Geno Smith Jets in last, going 4-13, and I feel like 4-13.
No, I'm not even joking. What? No.
What? Oh man, you got to be kidding me, man!
Come on.
This team, I really do not know. Listen, Geno on the Raiders did not look good at all. He looked like a shell of his Seahawks self. I feel like it's clear that they're just trying to tank and set up for like a really good 2027 season, which is fair completely. But you still have some like half decent pieces. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. They're innocent in these losses. I don't think they're good enough players to really elevate this offense like out from mediocrity like it has been. Offensive line is rough. Geno is going to get blitzed, and he's going to be throwing meatball subs with extra marinara.
Come on, man.
I'm so sorry, but I feel like this is the only way that this season's going to go. I can't imagine they're going to put together a run, not with this team. The defense is slightly better. Minkah Fitzpatrick is still a talented safety. They're getting like the last few good years of him, but obviously his best years are kind of behind him at this point, to be honest with you. They still got young Will McDonald IV. He could still be really good in this league. Demario Davis is still kicking. I have a lot of respect for him. He's an amazing player. Aside from that, I don't know. This defensive line, nothing's really jumping out at me. I feel good about the Jets going 4-13. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But they are. I guess they're tying with this other team that's apparently in the AFC East too. I don't know. I guess they are.
Wait, this means that you have them at more than 4 wins? The Dolphins?
No. To be clear, the Dolphins are also going 4-13. I have more.
That's wishful.
Listen, they could really go like 2-15, and I just feel like this is the type of team where, I don't know, maybe Malik Willis like puts on like a masterclass, a single like odd game, and you're like, what is going on? What is happening? Are the Dolphins finally back? And then they immediately come crashing down to earth.
This cannot be the 2022 Saints or whatever year that was where they went 2-0 and looked like the best team ever. But yeah, continue. That's not happening.
Oh no, this is happening at like a random regular season game, like week 10 or 11 or something. But I mean, you still got. Wait, how do you Von Achan? Or
it's Achan.
It's Achan.
You're thinking of Travis Achan.
Travis Achan, because the spelling is so different, but they're pronounced the same. That's crazy. Okay, so wide receiver 1, Malik Washington. It's not good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna read this wide receiver depth of Malik Washington, Tutu Atwell, and Jalen Reagor. And don't forget AJ Henning as well.
Who?
Yeah.
Who is AJ Henning?
Beats me, man. Jalen Reagor 2026 hoops we're gonna see is gonna be unbelievable. I think Quinn Ewers could get some snaps if Malik Willis is not the best, but okay. Anyway, their defense is still decent. Watch out for Chop Robinson. Like he actually could still be good, but we haven't seen enough of him. Aside from that, man, I don't know. Like Zane Anderson at safety. Like, are you familiar with Zane Anderson all that much?
Isn't he the guy from the Packers that they picked up?
Really?
Yeah, like he had a pick against the Saints in their weird shutout game with them. I believe in 2024 when the Packers won 11-6. But yeah,
man, yeah, he must have been like low on the depth chart because I do not remember him. But if he
number 39, if you could recall.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that
he's only there because of Halfley.
Okay.
Halfley liked them probably.
Right.
I mean, they're the Walmart Packers.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, Halfley put together great defenses for the Packers. Don't get me wrong, but I think that like it's going to be like a slow grind to try to get this team to be competitive, and I'm not sure if he can
I can't believe Zane Anderson is a starting safety in this league.
That is it's kind of surprising to me too. I don't know. Aside from that, there isn't really that many names jumping out for me. Aside from Big Chop Robinson, come on, he'll be rushing the passer on that. So yeah, I got the Dolphins and the Jets sharing the basement of the AFC East, going forward 13 each. Maybe I'm a little harsh on the Jets. They are probably the better team.
Splitting rent in the basement.
Yeah, if you want, you could flip it around so that the Dolphins are 4 and the Jets are 3, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. And next, these are the teams that'll just end up steamrolling.
Steamrolling.
Their fellow division counterparts, of course. But it was tough for me to determine which team had the edge here. I think that the Pats did lose a lot, but I think the Bills they're kind of running it back for the most part. Okay, I'll get this out of the way, I guess. I have the Bills second in the AFC East. I've got them going 11-6. I think that they could get as low as 10 wins probably, but 10-11 I feel feels fair for the Buffalo Bills. You still got James Cook, obviously Josh Allen, regular season merchant for the most part. But you're kind of running it back with the same wide receiver core aside from DJ Moore. Which I think is a fine addition. I think he still has some. He still has some. I guess juice in his game left. Even the defense is still looking good. You still got Bradley Chubb, Greg Rousseau, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Players that have been very consistent. And even Ed Oliver, who I feel like it was yesterday when he was the Bills' first-round pick in 2020. Wasn't he the same class as Josh Allen, or am I mistaken on that? No, he was a year after. I think.
Yeah, Josh Allen was the 2018 quarterback class.
Yeah, I thought they had multiple picks that year. I don't know, but. I don't know. The Bills, they're moving on from Sean McDermott. I think he was holding them back in a lot of different ways, but eventually you got to imagine, if this season does not go right, a considerable, amount of blame will be shifted to Josh Allen. And honestly, the tides have already kind of been turning in that way to begin with. I've seen kind of a lot more criticism about him, so it's another prove-it year. For the Bills. Hopefully they can finally get over the hump and beat some of these AFC teams for once. It always feels like they're promised to have these great seasons, and it's hard for them to deliver. It's hard for them to actually kind of put something amazing together.
Can I chime in on this for just
Sure,
a second? Because you were talking about the Sean McDermott firing. That still angers a lot of people in the league just because of how stupid it is. If you wanted to change things and you wanted to switch up the coaching staff because they just can't get over the hump, why would you hire back that entire offensive staff?
Yeah.
Joe Brady? Mm-hmm. Sean McDermott was keeping your defense relevant with nobody on his team. Von Miller was the best pass rusher. What are we talking about here? The injury issues that showed up on that Buffalo defense year after year, and he still kept them top 10 or middle of the pack. They were still a great defense last year. Mm-hmm. Getting rid of that part, you're alienating the defense and hoping they just figure it out because you're switching things up. Maybe the offense was the issue sometimes. Maybe they turned the ball over too many times. But they should have hired someone completely out of house and hired a new coaching staff if they wanted to take this avenue of getting rid of the status quo. But yeah, it doesn't make sense in the slightest, and Brandon Beane should have been the guy to go if anyone at all had to go.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair to say. I don't know. Sean was kind of the scapegoat for the most part. I think that
unbelievable.
Yeah, it is a little unbelievable. I think there were some decisions that he made in that final playoff game where it's they were on the line. I don't think he should have been Let's
make this clear now.
He shouldn't have been canned for them, but I don't think they were
Josh Allen
great.
lost them that game.
Yes,
that is
totally.
the bottom line.
There's no debate about that.
You cannot turn the ball over 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I don't know, Josh Allen really needs to put together a season where he doesn't turn over the ball a considerable amount, because it's getting to this point where I don't know if he's gonna put the ball on the ground. He's gonna like throw a sub once in a while in the air. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
He's got a generational PR team, man.
He really does. And Lamar was robbed for his MVP. I just want to put that out there as well. But I think that's enough about the Buffalo Bills. We're going to move on to the real kings of this division. I have the Patriots going 12-5. I don't think they're really going to regress all that much. And like, honestly, like, you're giving Drake May weapons. They did bolster this receiving core like a little bit, even though Stephon Diggs, like, that is kind of a loss on the offensive side. But you're still replacing him with A.J. Brown, Romeo Doubs, and I think that makes up for it, in my opinion. I think the offensive line is still in a good they did not perform well in the Super Bowl. However, they are kind of a younger core, and I think that, I don't know, I need to see them together again, and I think they're going to do great things. The defense, obviously, you have one of the best secondary players in the league, Christian Gonzalez. It says he's questionable here. How long is this injury going to linger for?
I don't think it can't be anything serious if no one's really reporting it.
Yeah, I was not familiar with him being injured, but obviously you have Kevin Byard, an amazing safety at one point, but now he's just fine. And I don't know. I believe in the Patriots, man. I think Vrabel is one of the better coaches in the league. I think I could see him being a Super Bowl winning coach, and they got really close with a team that I think this team might be better than last year's Patriots, in my opinion. So I could easily see them getting up to 12 wins. They might run into more trouble in the playoffs, though. But we'll have to see. Yeah, those are my picks. Maybe Travion Henderson will get some reps, too.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Don't draft him in fantasy. I'm not going to lie. It's not worth the dice roll, but I don't know.
I did not expect to disagree with you this much about this.
Wow. Well, go ahead. By all means, sir.
Every single, the order, it's completely off, but let me read this off to you right off the bat.
Man got the Jets winning the division, man.
No, I don't.
Listeners tune out.
First of all,
if he's putting them one...
Let's set this straight right now. The Dolphins are in last place and in a firm last place. This is the worst division. The worst team in the NFL. They're right next to the Cardinals.
Cardinals are way worse, in my opinion.
No, this might be a worse roster. This is This is one of the worst rosters ever assembled in the history of the NFL. Malik Willis and Devon Achane with nobody. There is not a soul on this offense that has any redeemable qualities. Malik Washington was their wide receiver 3 last year and not a good wide receiver 3. And he's listed as their wide receiver 1? What? What are we talking about? Jalen Tolbert was fantasy relevant for 2 weeks in his entire career. I don't even know who Caleb Douglas is. Kevin Coleman Jr., who is that? Chris Bell, nice rookie pickup, but he's been injured this whole camp, basically. Tutu Atwell, come on now. Yeah. Tutu Atwell, what are we talking about here? Matthew Stafford threw a deep ball to him once in a blue moon. Greg Dulcich, he wasn't even on a team for half the year last year, and now he's your tight end 1. What? Ben Sims, former Packers tight end 3, is sitting as your fullback right now. Ooh. Ben Sims. You're going to see a lot of former... Oh, my gosh. I recognize that name from Packers preseason in 2023. That is how bad this roster is.
We're happy to give up our leftovers. What can I say?
The worst first-round pick in the history of the league right here with Caden Proctor, who got moved to left guard because he was playing so bad at tackle in camp.
This offensive line is looking rough. I'm taking a good, long, hard look at these names, and, oh, man, it's between this and the Jets.
Not even close. We'll get into why in a second.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Austin Jackson, another failed pick. I mean, the rest of these guys aren't even worth mentioning on the offensive line. Let's move on to the defense.
Yeah. Wait, what's the record, though?
3-14.
All right, okay. Well, you were making it sound like it was canyons in between.
3-14 is the prediction, basement, because predicting 2-15 is borderline insanity because winning in this league can happen randomly. You could play against a backup quarterback and sneak out a win. 3 is the bottom you can predict for a team. unless you're really, really low on a team, which I would be if they didn't have Malik Willis and Devon Achane, probably. Like, this isn't like the roster that the 2017 or 2016 Browns rolled out, in which there was nothing, legitimately nothing. Like, they were tanking on purpose, and they've admitted to that. Zane Anderson is sitting at your free safety spot.
We talked about him a bit.
Yeah, I cannot believe this guy is a starter in the NFL. This cannot possibly last long. Jordan Brooks leading the way. Kenneth Grant, Chop Robinson, yeah. Cleveland Farrell, the former number 4 overall pick, he's still in the league. That's crazy.
Wow.
And the rest are nobodies, not even worth mentioning.
Not even Willie Gay Jr.?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah. Their kicker, I don't even care if their kicker's good. It won't help them. So, yeah, the Dolphins sitting at 3-14. There is no reason. Dolphins fans, you can get excited about Malik Willis and Devon Achane because, I mean, Malik Willis can be as good as he wants. You still aren't exceeding 5 wins with this terrible, horrible roster. Think of any cartoon rhyme right there that would fit that. But, yeah, it's really, really bad. Next up on the list, I have the Jets sitting at 6-11-1. I actually like the young core they've established, and they're definitely not tanking like some people think. Geno Smith is an average quarterback. You're going to get average quarterback play out of him.
Ooh, average, though, like...
Their offensive line isn't bad. That's the thing. As long as he's standing upright, a pocket passer can get things done.
That's a lot of picks for average. That's all I
Their running back is good. They
mean,
have a good running back room with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen, shout out to him. He's back. Badger legend. 3 receivers here that I'm intrigued by. Garrett Wilson, obviously your wide receiver 1. A.D. Mitchell's having a great camp. Looked great with the Colts until they traded him because he fumbled something in the end zone, and they lost all respect for him. He's having a better camp than Omar Cooper Jr., who is their first-round pick wide receiver, who is still good. Looks good right now, but just A.D. Mitchell looks better. Another first-round pick here, Kenyon Sadiq. They picked 3 times in the first round, and then Armand Membu, the second or first best tackle in the draft, depending on who you had as the top spot. It was either that or Spencer Fano. Josh Myers, Joe Tippmann, Dylan Parham, and Fashanu at tackle. That's a pretty mid to potentially could be above average offensive line.
Yeah, that's fair. Retract what I said before. Jets have a much better offensive line. Looking at it now.
And so far, bottom line, this team is already better than the Dolphins. But let's take a look at this defense. Enigbare, which Packer fans were sad had to go, but he's a great rotational defensive end. Sweat is great. You know about Will McDonald. Like, he's going to be in the conversations to be in the sack leaderboard. Demario Davis is a great linebacker. Minkah Fitzpatrick leading the way there. And then, of course, you have Brandon Stevens at right cornerback, which is a decent spot there, and Cisco is a great, strong safety. Nashawn Wright is probably where the weaknesses start.
Wait, they got a Mo Bamba in the depth chart here.
That's crazy.
Do you see this?
He's probably not making the team. He'll probably hit the portal.
Maury Bamba, but Mo for short.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they call him. But, yeah. Bottom line, this is a much better offense and defense than the Dolphins. And I think that if they're sitting at 2-6 by the bye week, I am intrigued by this option. They got Cade Klubnik sitting there waiting. So either way, I think they'll have a bright, I'll put it this way. Bright for a team that had 3 first-round picks.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, next season,
they got 2.
Yeah, I could see them like adding those 2 picks that you mentioned, and I don't know, developing this younger talent and having them honestly be in that 6 to 7. That 6 to 7 win range, but not now. Not now. This team is too inexperienced and not good enough to win 6 games, in my opinion.
I think they definitely could win 6 games. I think this is a very similarly put together team with the Browns. Like, obviously the Browns probably have a way better defense, but this is a situation where you win 6 games, you're happy with it. You have a probably 9 to 12 pick in the first round. I have no idea whose first-round pick they have. I think they have the Colts, which could very easily be in the top 15 as well. So they're already placing themselves in a good spot to trade up if they wanted a guy like, I don't know, like Arch Manning. Or that's the flashy name for the number 1 overall pick quarterback, which I don't think he's probably going to be the first overall quarterback. But that is the name that people think of when you think of the number 1 overall pick quarterback. So that is what I will be using.
We'll see.
So I think they'll definitely be in position to get him either way, but I am intrigued by Cade Klubnik himself. But moving on here, now that we got that abysmalness out of the way, I have more abysmalness to point out. Second place, I got the Patriots at 9-7-1. Much harder schedule than last year. They had one of the historically easiest schedules of all time. I believe it's top 3 easiest schedules in the history of the NFL in terms of strength of schedule. Feels like they were playing a team that was picking in the top 10 every week. I think they got slightly better, but that team last year was an 8-9 football team playing a really easy schedule, and that's how they got that far. And they kind of Mickey Moused their way through the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they run into an actually good team in the Super Bowl, and they get exposed for what they truly are. A team that doesn't have a good offensive line in the slightest. Will Campbell is one of the softest rookies out of last year's class.
So disrespectful.
I mean, literally.
So disrespectful. I feel like that one bad game is kind of like coloring his entire. Well,
which one?
In the Super Bowl, obviously. I feel like
he had a terrible game against the Texans, bro. Way worse.
Listen, chill on Will Campbell. He still has some time left for sure. Like, how are you saying it's over? Like, just because his arms are short?
Look, they got absolutely demolished by that Seahawks defensive line, and guess who they play week 1? It's the Seattle Seahawks. You see them again. They didn't improve really at all. Like, Elijah Vera Tucker from the Jets, that's it? Like, what are we doing here? Morgan Moses is dealing with injuries. Like,
that's it. That's their only upgrades, ladies and gentlemen.
Obviously,
Nothing
A.J.
else.
Brown, but otherwise, that wide receiver room doesn't intrigue me at all.
I don't know. Dobbs at the 2, like he was looking great on the Packers. I was sorry to see him go. He had great moments. Like you can't deny that.
So does Keyshawn Boutte.
Fair enough.
I mean, Matt Collins had his moments, and he's 6th down on the depth chart. Caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He could tell his kids one day, but it's the good old Chris Paul meme. Cut down the lead to 42. In terms of defense, this team is obviously a legit defense with Christian Gonzalez leading the way. But it's not. I don't think it's going to be a top 5 defense. You can't stat pad against the really bad teams anymore. Again, I think they're going to fall back down to earth of middle of the pack. It's not that outstanding of a defense. Milton Williams, Christian Barmore. I don't think there's a guy that you're specifically saying I want to double that guy. Or linebackers. I don't think there's a guy that you're losing sleep over. Robert Spillane. Yeah, I'm really losing sleep if I'm a defensive coordinator over here. Carlton Davis is the barbecue chicken cornerback that you're going to have to take your shots on. Craig Woodson, again, that's the side of the field, barbecue chicken. I'm taking my shots on that. It's got its holes. Every defense has its holes, but there's quite a few on this defense. Just don't throw at Christian Gonzalez, and yeah, that's basically the game plan. There's not a game-wrecking guy like a Myles Garrett or a Jared Verse or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bottom line, this is a 9-win team. They're actually playing real teams this year, a first-place schedule. They definitely will get what they deserve in terms of scheduled opponents. So, and then obviously the Buffalo Bills at 11-6. I think we agree on that. But the Patriots' 12-win hype needs to end immediately.
It's not going to end.
It's got to end.
It will not.
It will end immediately after their first game. Trust.
That is pretty reactionary. You got to admit. Like after their first game, and there's no way they were getting the 12 wins. No sir.
Yeah, because I mean,
even though they have one of the best coaching staffs in the league. I'm going to bring up their nightmare schedule right here for you. It's we'll see.
All right, let's take a look at this schedule. Why don't we right here for the New England Patriots? You start off at Seattle at 7:20 on NBC. Pittsburgh made the playoffs last year. Has a great defense.
Made the playoffs.
They lost to the Steelers last year
against the hospital Ravens and the hospital Bengals. Yeah,
they lost to the Steelers last year. They lost to the freaking Steelers, and it was bad because they couldn't block T.J. Watt. They couldn't block Highsmith. It's basically the same defense. Don't make me defend the Steelers, please.
You started doing that on your own. I'm not gonna lie.
Because it's just common sense.
I think it's common sense that the Patriots are a better team than the Steelers are, in my opinion.
It's much easier than the opponents they had to play last year. So right off the bat, you play two good teams. Jacksonville made the playoffs with 13 wins last year. Jacksonville, yes, I believe in them a lot. Buffalo, you get a free one with Las Vegas and New York. Chicago. Green Bay, Detroit, Los Angeles, Buffalo again, Minnesota, Kansas City, Denver, and then, of course, you get to play a couple games against New York and Miami again.
Right. those are tough games. I'm not gonna lie and say they aren't, but it's like they're fully winnable
that
games.
puts them at 9 wins if you just give them the games that they're gonna win.
Right, but I'm saying that the games that you're saying that they won't win are fully winnable. They're totally. Maybe aside from the Seahawks, I feel like they're kind of smashing.
Let's look at the first 3 games: Seattle, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville. Give them a win out of that. 1 and 2. You play Buffalo.
Sure.
I think they lose to Buffalo because they're going to Buffalo. Now you're sitting at 1 and 3. What do you think happens when Mike Vrabel, a guy that probably is starting to lose the locker room with the case we won't mention, what are they going to do when they're 1 and 3? They're probably going to turn on him. Las Vegas, you bounce back with a win, they'll probably sit at 3 and 3.
But you have no idea what goes on in the locker room, though. That's the thing. Don't
we're not going to go into hypotheticals of why you'd lose respect for that.
Well, okay, yeah, for sure. But don't pretend you're in the locker room and you know what would happen when they would hypothetically go 1 and 3. You have no idea.
1 and 3. I mean, yeah.
Oh, the season's over, guys. Sorry.
Yes, I mean, if you have a coach that is already losing his squad, okay, whatever. You get Vegas, New York, Chicago. I think you go 2 and 1 in that stretch. What are we sitting
you
at?
You could win all 3 of those. Honestly.
No, they're not beating Chicago in Chicago. Come on.
They could beat Chicago. They could. That
and they also could lose to New York and Las Vegas.
They're not losing to New York or the Raiders.
Let's say they get 1 win out of that.
But they wouldn't. They would get at least 2.
So then they're sitting at 5 wins. There's 7 weeks of the year. Miami, Green Bay, Detroit, Los Angeles. I think they go 1 and 3 in that stretch as well.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and then you get Buffalo, Minnesota, Kansas City.
Keep
I think you go 1 and 2 or 2 and 1 there. You're gonna lose probably to Kansas City or Buffalo, and then Denver's gonna beat them easily. 100%, and then you get a win against New York and Miami. You're sitting at 7 to 9 wins. Even when you're being generous, you can
I'm
best
being
case
generous.
scenario, and that means I'm being generous.
9 wins?
That's generous with this schedule. This team is not great. It's Division 3 level depth at receiver behind AJ Brown.
I'm putting all my cards on the table. I believe in the Patriots.
That's not going to pay off well for you. I'll just say that. We don't have to go further into that. But the Buffalo Bills are going to be they're going to be seeing the fruits of their labor, being 11-6.
I didn't check the money line before I made the predictions.
They will have locked up this division.
Then it would be typical.
They will have locked up this division by week 16 and rest their starters by week 17, and rest their starters in week 18. That is my predictions. So. With that being said, let's call it quits here on Toss the Mic. We'll see you next week right here on the Toss the Mic Sportscast.